welcome to my channel. Today I am going to talk you through how to do your own strength training plan. So you might want to grab a book and a pen and write some of this down, because this is going to be really useful information. Save you some pennies on getting a personal trainer doing your plan. Right, let's get to it. I don't actually need these right now. I just thought they look more intelligent. But when we're starting any program, it's really important that we know exactly what our goals are. What I want you to do right now is grab your pen, grab your paper, and just write down everything that you want to achieve, which is strength specific or any skills that you want to learn. Once you've written down all your goals, let's say them out loud. My goals: I want to be able to maintain my squat. I want to be able to do more pull-ups. I want to be able to do a dragon squat. I want to be able to do a crow into a handstand. They're kind of my main goals at the moment. I do have more skills, but I'll be here all day doing all the skills I want to be able to do. Now we have our goals. What we need to do next is make them specific. Making our goals specific is really important to keep us on track. If you just say, I want to be able to do a heavier squat, I want to be able to do more pull-ups, there's no metric to follow and to go back to and see where you've improved. Having a specific metric that you have, your goal, is really crucial to be able to hit that goal and to keep you on track. Now we've cleared up what our goals are, now let's make them specific. So write down on the goals how to make them specific, right? For me, for an example, I want to be able to do 1.5 of my body weight of a squat, maintain that. So I can do that at the moment, but I just want to maintain. You know, for years I've been, working towards strength. I've been doing strength training since I was 14. My goal has always been get stronger, get stronger, get stronger. But now I'm at that place where I just kind of want to maintain it and go into old age being able to, still squat 100 kilos, because that's kind of the goal for me, is longevity and be able to go into old age with great movement and be able to do things that I could do when I was younger. So 1.5 body weight squat. Now at the moment I can do around 6 or 7 pull-ups, so my goal is to try and get to 10. So that's specific. I know exactly how many pull-ups I want. 10. And then with my skills, my dragon squat, I want to be able to do 1 on each leg. And then I just want to be able to go up into a handstand from that crow position. I can do the crow and I can do the handstand. The next stage would be pushing myself up into that handstand, which I need the strength for. Now, if you're someone that's got loads and loads of goals, then try to achieve them all at once. It's going to be really overwhelming and you're not going to probably get anywhere with that. Next thing I want to talk about is prioritizing your goals. For me, I have got more than 4, but I've done it for the video to show you how many roughly you should have. So I've done 2 main strength components as my goals and then 2 skills. So I'd say that's a really good balance, especially when I'm writing my program. That's going to be quite clear for me to do and easy to see, and I feel like it's not overwhelming to be able to reach those goals. It's quite achievable for me. I would suggest try and do 2 strength goals and then 2 skills that you would want to learn. Or, if you're someone that doesn't really want to learn any skills or anything like that, just keeping it to a strength-based goal, then, you could potentially have 3 or 4 strength goals then. Now we've got our goals, we've made them specific, and we've prioritised what goals we are going to work on. Now we've got to figure out the split. There's many splits you can do. One that I like doing is having 1 upper, 1 lower, and then full body. Or you can do a split. 1 day's push, 1 day's pull, and then 1 day is push and pull. This is entirely up to you on how you like to do it. For me, I like to, with my goals in mind, so one of my goals is squat, which is lower body, and then one goal is pull-ups, which is an upper body. Having kind of 1 day that's purely just working on my upper body, and then 1 that's just working on my lower body would work really well with me and with my skills. My skills in mind, working towards that dragon squat, which is a lower body movement, and then working towards my crow into handstand, which is an upper body movement. So having that, each skill set split into those days would bring a good balance. You decide which split you would like. So now we've decided on what split. So I'm going to choose one upper body day and one lower, and then potentially a full body. So deciding on how many days is the next thing we're going to look at. So look at your work schedule, look at your life. How many days realistically can you actually train? So for me, I think 3 days strength training is perfect. I've been doing this consistently now for the last 2 months. I don't feel drained, I don't feel overworked, and I feel like I'm achieving what I want to achieve in those days. I would say I would recommend anywhere between 2 and 4 days strength training, just because one day you're not really going to see the benefits. If you have all these goals that you want to achieve, just going to the gym once every week, it's going to take you a very long time to get there. And then training more than 4, if you're 5 or 6, 7 days a week, you're not going to get enough rest, which is then going to impact you trying to achieve your goals. So I always say 2 to 4 is a great number to go with. So once you've chosen your day, whatever that may be, then you're going to work your split out from that. So I'm going to go for 3 days. And then my split is going to be 1 upper body, 1 lower body, and then 1 full body day. And now we want to try and bring the balance to our program. So having a balanced program is really important. You don't want to be overtraining one muscle group and undertraining the other. This is going to be having imbalances in your body, and we want to make sure that everything is balanced and working at a similar pace, if that makes sense. So bringing the balance. With having our days now, so we've got 1 upper, 1 lower, 1 full body. So let's say with my lower body, so my main goal is to, strength wise, is to keep my strength from my squat about 1.5 of my body weight. So that's going to be my first exercise that I'm going to put in that day, because I want to be fresh for it. I want to make sure I'm hitting my strength goals with that squat. So that's going to be my priority, is a squat. Now when thinking about doing the squat, I want to try and do something that is counteracting that squat. So something that's going to be working maybe more the back of my legs, because the squat is more of a quad dominant exercise. So maybe something like a Romanian deadlift, where I bring my hips back, doing a hip hinge action, or maybe a hip thrust where I'm really focusing on my glutes. Something that's going to counteract that. Exercises, I want to think about doing the same, and unilateral work is a must as well. So if you're just doing one plane of movement, and sometimes you find that you get imbalances, so if squat example, if you're putting more pressure into your left leg, your right leg is not going to be working as well, so your left side is going to be stronger. So putting unilateral work into your plan is a must. So with the lower body day in mind, I'm going to be doing some unilateral work. So that can look like doing some split squats, doing single extensions, single curls. I was going to say curl extensions, curls, steps, anything kind of like that. And then once I always do 2, so 1 that's working, so like legs, you're working your quads more, and then maybe the leg curled, you're working your backs of your legs, so they complement each other. Oh, I had to go and grab a drink, I was a bit chilly. Anyway, so going back to the lower body unilateral work, so we've got the leg extension, leg curl, and also making that specific to your goal. So for an example, my goal, referring back to what I want to achieve, is the dragon squat. So maybe I'll do some shrimps, which is the single leg work, and then maybe some hip flexor work. Like I said, I feel like my hip flexor strength is letting me down, because when I'm in the lower part of the dragon squat, I can't lift my leg up. So working on my hip flexor strength and then my quad strength is going to be really crucial for me to try and bring that dragon squat all together. Or I could just do the last bit of my session, so like the 5th exercise can just be purely just on my dragon squat, so whatever that may be, doing like leg lifts, trying to work that hip flexor. And I always try and perform the dragon squat. So I'll always go, every session, I'll just see where I'm at with the dragon squat and see how I'm improving. And then every month, then I'll assess it and see if, is this program actually helping it? Am I actually improving? And so on. So going to the upper body session now. So we're thinking the same thing. So our priority is my pull-up, So I want to try and get 10 pull-ups. So that's going to be my first exercise. I want to make sure that I'm fresh and strong to be able to really put everything into my pull-up. And then we want to do an exercise that's going to counteract that pull-up. So we're pulling, so maybe a push exercise. And then I want to refer back to the skill that I'm trying to learn, which is pushing up into that handstand. So I need really good push strength to try and get into that handstand from that crow position. So maybe I'll put in a pike press or just a strict shoulder press. That's going to help my strength in the handstand also. So we've got the pull-up, we've got the pike press, and now I want to do some unilateral work. So maybe we'll get some dumbbells. I could do dumbbell chest press, lying down on a flat bench press, dumbbell in each hand. So you're still working individually each side rather than a barbell where you might compensate on one side. So I love doing dumbbells for that reason. And then something to complement the chest press. So we're pushing there. So now maybe we want to do a pull-in action. So let's say one arm row, again, single arm, working that back muscle, and then again, working that unilateral. So we've got a nice balance there, working all different planes of movement. And then the last part then will be something specific to my handstand. So something that I feel like I need to work on, which is my handstand, holding it in that position. So I'll just do some last little bits, maybe doing a handstand against the wall and holding it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, doing a few sets of that. Just getting used to being in that handstand, for me, I think this is crucial to be able to perform that crow into a hand. So we've got our lower body day, we've got our upper body day, and we found balance in both days. And now we've got that third day where I'm going to do a full body day. Now you can split this into a few different ways. For me, I'm going to be just concentrating on Olympic lifting. So I've always done Olympic lifting and it took me ages to get that skill. So that day is going to be just me going through the motions and trying to make sure that I'm keeping that skill. And I also really enjoy doing Olympic lifting. So that's just a day for me just to carry on doing Olympic lifting, making sure I keep that skill and keep that mobility into that when I'm doing the snatch, making sure I can keep doing that until I'm 80 years of age. But another thing, if you're not into Olympic lifting, maybe splitting your third day into a push and pull day. So that could look like doing so I always try and do like lower, upper. So you're splitting it through and then think about doing a push, pull, push, pull. Or you can just do upper, lower, and it doesn't really matter if it's a push or pull. So maybe you want to start with a deadlift, then you're going to go into a push press, then you're going to go into a leg press, and then another upper body movement, let's say a lat pull down. I can't remember what I just said, or press up. So we're trying to get like a lower, upper, so we're trying to work our full body in just like 4 or 5 moves. You don't need to do any more unless you want to do more. And then maybe having some core then at the end. So like a hollow rock, if it depends on what level you are. Any kind of core exercise, say cable crunches, getting a bit of everything in there. So now we're going to do our full body day. So that can look like 5 exercises, and maybe just do it as a lower, upper, and then core. You can keep it nice and simple like that. Or you can do a push, pull, core. Up to you how you want to do it. Like for an example, let's say we put a deadlift in to start with, so that could be your pull. And then for your push, maybe you can do a push press. And then going to lower pull, you can maybe do an RDL or single leg RDL. And then going back into a push, maybe you can do some press ups or, incline dumbbell press. And then finishing off with some core work that could look like cable crunches or hanging leg raises or hollow rocks. Depending on what your level, maybe some dead bugs if you're a beginner, a really good core exercise to do when you're starting off. But for me, I live to do my full day. I do Olympic lifting. I've done Olympic lifting for years now. and it took me ages to build that skill. So I just want to just make sure I'm still doing that weekly so I don't lose that skill. And it's just it's a bit of fun for me. And yeah, obviously if you're not into Olympic lifting, then I would stay away from that. But those are a few choices that you could split your full body day into. Now the next point I would say is trying to be consistent with your training is crucial. I think I see a lot of people, they get really excited when they start a plan and they think, I'm going to train every single day, I'm going to smash it, and then you're 2 weeks in and you are kapooped. That means you are knackered, you're dead, you can't go on anymore, and then you just give up. So trying not to overtrain is really important, and having that balance where you have your working days and then you also have a few rest days as well. So I always say start low and then build from that. I always say a good plan for me, I like to stay around 25 reps on each exercise. That could be looking like 4 sets of 6, 5 sets of 5, trying to 3 sets of 8. Trying to stay around that 25 kind of rep mark is the holy grail, and something that you continually do. Sometimes if you put too much volume in, your muscles are just dead and you're like, I can't go on anymore. So if you try and stick around that, you'll be a lot more consistent with your training. And like I said, having those rest days are really important, and it doesn't necessarily mean not doing anything at all. Just maybe going for like a stroll in the park, doing some yoga, something that's gonna rejuvenate you and so you're ready to go again for the following week. Now coming towards the end of this video, so we're looking about polishing the program now. So polishing the program could be adding a deload week. So if deload is really important, so you're not constantly trying to bring that intensity every single week. Again, like I said, this is about consistency. So making sure we have a week where we half the reps, we half the volume, we half the intensity. So we can go into the following week, going back into that intensity, and then trying to improve. So polishing that program, adding those weeks where you're still training, but you're not bringing so much intensity is crucial again to be able to keep doing this over and over again. Like what I said at the beginning, this is about training forever till we're old, not for a short sprint and then crippling our body and not being able to train when we're 70, 75. That's the goal, right? And then the last one is about amending our program. So we have our goals in mind. We get to, 5-6 weeks into our program, we assess where we started. Now, if we look back and we're like, okay, I'm still on 6 pull-ups, still can't do a dragon squat. You know what, I'm actually doing less weight on my squat than I initially were doing, then maybe we need to assess that program. Maybe we need to change a few things. Maybe we need to put different exercises in to really specifically help each move more. Or you could go into the program 6 weeks in and you've achieved, 8 pull-ups. You're doing more than body weight and a half now. So then you look back and you're like, right, what I'm doing is working. But that looking back and assessing is crucial to make sure that you're achieving your goals. And if you're not, then you need to redo your program in a way that's going to help you achieve your goals. And there we have it. That is how to do your own training program in a nutshell. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions on anything, if you want any help with anything else. I can do another video on whatever that may be. Again, please subscribe to my channel, it will really help me out. And again, have a lovely day and see you in my next video. And here's a video here. Click on it if you want a nice deep stretch after your workout to really relax your muscles and get rid of those DOMs.